So there'll be lots of excitement going on today. I see SPY is down 1.3%. Apple's down 1.62%. I can see Tesla is tanking right out of the gate. Qs are down. Everything is down. The world is burning. And yet we will somehow make a lot of money this week. Tesla's down almost 4% this morning. Yes. Those of you that listen to me since the beginning, and I always talk about making sure you are hedging your long side, now understand what I mean. Those of you that heard me say it every day for the last 2 years and 7 months and did not heed my warnings, you now understand what I've been saying. For everybody else, if you guys are watching, make sure you guys are setting up your pre-market high, pre-market low, previous day high, and previous day low. That will help you throughout the day. I'm doing that right. There it is. There it is. There it is. All set up. Going to do the same for Apple. It should take you less than 10 seconds per chart to do exactly what I just said. So there's your previous day high, previous day low, pre-market high, and pre-market low, and done. That's how long it should take. Nice job. How is your green to red ratio over these last 4 months?
I have just 2 days red, another one is green.
2 day out of how long?
4 months.
4 months, 2 or 3 days red. Did everybody catch that? Out of 4 months, 2 or 3 days have been red.
But you know what I realize? When I go big, I'm losing that day. When I go smaller, I just winning.
That is correct. Everybody always thinks that if you go larger, you're going to make more money. No. If you go larger, you're going to lose more money. It's completely opposite of what you think. The smaller you go, the more you will allow it to run, the more money you will make, and the less risk you will take. It's completely opposite of everything you could ever, but it takes money to make money, coach. It's not how this works. I'm telling you right now, that's not how this works. Ask Mark, who started with a $700 account, if him going too large too fast is how he got to where he's trading today in those futures account.
Are you enjoying your experience with American Dream Trading? Great! We'd love to hear from you. Your feedback helps us continue to grow and provide the best in stock market education to new and advanced traders. How about leaving us a review? Great! Just go to AmericanDreamTrading.com, click Write a Review, leave us a rating, and then leave your review. It's just that simple. Thanks so much. We really appreciate your feedback. See you soon. Make money anytime, anywhere, even in the grocery store. At American Dream Trading, we're a community of traders that know that financial freedom is just a trade away. Imagine making money anywhere, even the beach. At American Dream Trading, we're a community of traders who know that financial freedom is just a trade away. Welcome, gang, to American Dream Trading's The Aftermarket live chat and watch party. I'm your host, J&J Video Reacts, aka Dawn. Whatever you want to call me is fine. And this is a stream that has been created by traders for traders to basically kick back after the market and have a place to come to relax and talk about their day trading. How did you do today? What of coach's strategies did you use? What worked for you? In fact, that is actually the topic of conversation today. What did you learn today? Right? We got a lot of good lessons today from Mark McSee. Shout out to Mark McSee. It is his birthday. Mark is our futures moderator and trainer, and he is having a birthday today, and he is going out to eat some cow. I couldn't help it. He has a look on his face right there like that wasn't funny. He's going out to have some dinner tonight, and we wish him well and hope he has a good time. He deserves it. Mark is so phenomenal as a trainer. And there was a lot of good lessons that were had today, both obviously by Coach always, and by Mark as well. Doug. This morning we work with. I worked with F2 on the L2. I told you I would. We did that live yesterday, so he was there first thing this morning, ready to go. And I just feel like there was a lot of lessons being given today, and it was just a learning day. um, you know I was listening to Mark explain the break and hold of the 9 strategy, and to one of our members, and just the way he explains it, because he does it and he makes it so simple that it helped me today in my trading. So always lessons being learned, and that's what I want to know. What stood out to you today? What lessons did you learn today that stood out to you that you think is going to help you take your trading to the next level? And it doesn't matter who it was from. It could have been from another member. You may have heard somebody say that they're doing something that you thought, wow, that's a pretty good idea. I think I'll use that as a best practice in what I'm doing. So come on up on the panel. Before we get to anything too deep, let's make sure we are smashing that like button, share the content out, make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you are not subscribed. We're trying to get Coach to 20,000 subscribers, and right now we are currently sitting, oh my god, I forgot the last number. Hold on, let me look at that. I'm going to need to correct that. I thought I clicked the button. Hold on. Let me get that exact number for you guys. Because I'm sure it's not that low. All right, 15,136. So I don't know what happened there with my 3, but I apologize, Coach. I'll get that corrected. Well, tomorrow it'll be a whole new number. So, but at least the bottom number's right. We only need 4864 to go. So yeah, let's make sure we're getting him there. 20K is all we need to do, right? So tonight, I want to talk about the break and hold for me. I traded Nano Bitcoin, and I've trashed Nano Bitcoin before, but it didn't move. It doesn't move all the time the way that I like it to. It gets a bit choppy, but when it moves, does it move? And it doesn't really. It's the futures for it's Bitmain, Nano Bitmain, and it when it moves, it's only 5 cents a tick, but it before you know it, you're up $2, $3, $4, $5, right? You're up 50 ticks or 100 ticks, right? Because it has such large candles and has volume when it does move. When Bitcoin moves, it moves. And today I was and guys, come on up here on the panel. Let me do this by myself. I know some of you learned something today. Come on up here and talk to us. It actually made me revisit the whole break and hold of the 9 strategy, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm doing it the right way, but I may have been jumping in a little bit too early. You know what I mean? So I just tried to tighten the screws today on that. It's been working well so far. I also use the L2. But I just tightened it and got real strict on it today and made sure that not only was it the break above or below the 9, but it was the hold as well. And I'm going to tell you something. When the double tops and the double bottoms and things like that come, but I'm going to tell you that indicator is a very powerful indicator. And when it's ready and those candles are rolling, sometimes those lines don't matter. They will push right on through. And you can kind of tell as you get screen time in, as you watch the candles, you can see if they have energy or not to push through. The wicks will tell you. The wicks will help you out if it's pushing from the bottom to, go to the upside. Buyers are stepping in there. They're trying to get it up, especially if it's down. And obviously, the reverse is true as well. The seller's pushing in from the top. So you definitely want to make sure you get your screen time in. But that break and hold of that 9, let me tell you, that thing is an awesome, awesome strategy. I did hear somebody come in on the back stage. Hey, that's what's going on, brother.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm
How'd you
doing
do
good.
that?
It's
I,
I did all right. I did about $500, and
nice.
I used the L2 a lot today.
Okay.
Uh, I uh, I need some screen time with it to identify it faster. I need to get repetition in. So
Mark and I
um,
tag team that this morning for you. So hopefully it helped you, huh?
it really did. Like it started clicking, especially when you made me start explaining it back and things. That's when it started working, and I'm like, oh wait, I'm beating the candle when
Yeah.
it forms, and I'm like, oh yeah, all right. Ralph said he's on his way up here, so
All right. What can't wait, Ralph. Can't wait. I knew that would be something that would help it register in your brain a little bit quicker to make you look at it and see what was going on. And I was so proud of you when you said, well, from what I'm seeing, it looks like it should go down to X, Y, and Z. And I know it had to be because it was for me. When I saw it, I'm like, there it is. The first time I started having the light bulb go off, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, and it, holy shit, I saw that and I knew it was gonna, and it did it, you know? So yeah, that was awesome.
Yep. I It's been a long day. I don't see how, I'm up this time, and I'm usually at work and everything. I truly don't see how some of you guys do this from 4 a.m., like sitting down, going to the other channels and Discord and stuff.
We're
I,
bots,
I've been,
F2. We're not real. We're bots.
uh, it, it, like I
Why do you
got up,
think
walked
Coach
about.
talks about Elon's bots all the time? He's pre-ordered us, man. Now, for me, all jokes aside, it has a lot to do with my diet. I eat like today. I just ate grapefruits all day. I ate grapefruits, no other food. I just ate grapefruits all day, drank water, had my moringa this morning, got my workout in, and that provides me personally. I don't know about anybody else, but that's what really, really helps me. And the fact that I love being in here so much and always learning and always trying to help others learn. So that drives me, that motivates me personally. Um, can't speak for anybody else, but I'm sure it's probably pretty similar. It's that diet. Yep.
I might look into the fruits and stuff. I won't give up everything that I enjoy, but I'll definitely add some more fruit in my life,
Yeah,
especially
don't
grapes and stuff like that. I do like some grapes.
got any grapes?
Got some grapes.
I will never forget that video. I haven't seen it since, but I think we got somebody else coming in here. James L.
Mr. James.
How are
Hey,
you, my
hey.
brother? Hey, 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 hey.
Oh, I've never been so mad to make money in my life.
So what?
I've
Mad.
never been so mad to make money in my life.
Why are you mad to have made money? I can't
Yes.
wait to hear this.
I was in TSLL, and I just started out small at the open with like 10 shares,
Yeah.
and sold five when it got up to I think it was like 15, 12. I sold out five of them, and then it dropped back down, and I wasn't red, but I was giving up profit whenever it dropped back down to that 1470. But
Yep.
looking at the previous day, I added in significantly on that double
Wow.
bottom, and when it went back up and the super trend, it was kicked in, the 9 was curved up over the VWAP, and 21 was crossing, and I added a little bit more.
All right.
And then when it got back up to that 519 double top that it hit, yeah, it was 519, I think. Uh, when it opened this morning, I sold out significantly and held on to a little bit. About that time, Brandon woke up, wanting to be a little shit, and my mother-in-law, who was supposed to be here helping with him, was wrapped up in her own shit, paying her bills online and whatever.
Right.
So I went ahead and sold out the rest of what I had and tended to him. So I've never been so mad to make
Yeah.
money.
Because you were on a roll, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah. What strategy did you use? What's been working for you? Because I've hear you
L2,
talking. Okay. All
L2, and
right.
don't ask me why. TSLL has a lot larger numbers, the quantity on the L2 than what we deal with a lot in the pre-market.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I can see the blocks that it moves in: 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, up and down, and I've changed the colors on my candles.
You said that,
Yeah.
and I can help you
So
with that answer. Screen time, James. You've put in a lot of screen time, man. And after a while, one day you wake
yeah,
up and you start realizing it paid off.
yeah. It just, and I've tried watching other L2s. They just,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it like I do on TSLL. I don't know what the difference. I know the L2's the L2,
Uh-huh.
but for some reason I can see it on TSLL, and I feel like I missed something on SYTA or something else that's moving
Well,
differently.
maybe that's your huckleberry, Don't
So
overthink it. Maybe that's your huckleberry. Maybe that's the thing that the stock that it gets along with you, right?
yeah, yeah,
Just like
yeah.
David with Apple.
And I was actually planning today because I've got TSLQ loaded up because I'm only doing shares. I quit doing options. I did one option I think last week
Okay.
and didn't make as I mean I had profit, but I didn't make as much as I probably should have.
Mm-hmm.
But and I talk with Coach about it. Is basically the implied volatility on TSLL is insane. It's like over 200%.
Yeah.
So that's really not one to
Mess around with.
yeah. So yeah, I quit options. Just
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
so
I tell you what, over in futures, it's a lot more peaceful knowing that when something goes against me, especially if it's like in a counter trend where it's going against me, and I know eventually it's probably going to go back the other way, then I'm getting all that money back. You know what I mean? So
right.
it's not gonna have to work extra hard to get it back up if you get to it. Nah, there's none of that.
With the options,
So
you
Yeah,
can skip.
I don't think I'm quite ready for futures yet, but I'll get there.
you'll like it. It's just like doing shares. Hey Ralph.
What's going on, Dawn?
How are you, bro?
I'm all right. We had a good training day today, didn't we?
We really did, man. That encouraged the topic. I'm like, damn, putting out some
Mhm.
good stuff. And the way that Mark was working with that member today, that was awesome. And he gave a shout out to him on the Futures Live. But yeah, they were transparent. I love that. We've got a couple members in here that don't mind being transparent and putting their cards on the table and getting that help. A couple of moderators, I certainly don't mind telling when I'm struggling, you know what I mean? So we got
Mm-hmm.
somebody else coming in. And that helps. That actually helps to get things going, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Rob, what's going on, bro? It says my.
How you guys doing? You hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, we got an echo going on. You might have to turn down your phone or something.
I only have my speaker. Oh, okay.
But Ralph, you are one of the main ones that give a lot of good lessons too. I got to give it up to you. You
Yeah.
know your shit, and
Mm-hmm.
you are always there with a helping hand, offering somebody some advice on insights that you have. So shout out to you for that, man. You've been doing that for 2 years, as long as I've been knowing you in here.
If I see
So
something in the road, I'm gonna let you know about it.
yeah, you do.
I ain't gonna just go around and then be like, yeah, I hope Dawn all right. They got this big tire in the road or this pothole that's covered up with water. I ran through
Right.
it. I hope she be all right. She might dodge it. No, I'm gonna call you up and be like, yo, it's a pothole in the road.
Yeah.
Traffic
He
backed up.
sends me
Don't come this way.
screenshots, everything,
You know what I'm saying?
As I'll say, when you mess up and you hit it anyway, he gonna let you know too.
Right. Well, that's what I want too, and that's how I try to be for people. You can't blow smoke up people's butts, If you're not getting it, you need to speak up, let somebody know you're not getting it, and don't have a soft skin. Like I felt bad for that member today, and I was teasing Mark about being a bully, but in actuality, you need that. If you keep doing the same crap over and over, and you're not listening, and the reason for the struggle is you're not taking it seriously, or not that you're not taking it seriously, you're just not listening, not following. You need that boot up your butt. You need it. So, and he gives it.
Yeah. Yep. You do need it. It's I don't know. Some people some people trading ain't gonna be. It's no easy way around it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It ain't no holy grail. You're not gonna be able to pass it up. And it's gonna be hard because trading is hard. You're gonna lose money. That's one thing you will do is take a loss. And the main thing that people, so it's like four things that you need to be efficient at trading, and three of them you can have, but that fourth one is the one that breaks traders down. That's memory. You got to have good
Mm-hmm.
memory skills,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got to have good mathematics skills. You got to be able to add, or you just won't be. If you can't do the math, man, you're gonna suck. They got calculators and all that, but you still got to be
Right.
able to count.
Right.
That's the. Then you got to have good observation skills. You got to be able to, see something to be like, whoa, I'm not gonna do that because I see this is
Yeah.
happening, right? And then the last one, the one that breaks most traders, is experience. They don't want to get the
Mm.
experience. You know what I'm saying? The experience is the hardest and longest one. That's one that all three of the other ones, you can come with those skills already, but the experience, you're not gonna get that until you put in the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. Then another thing I've been noticing a lot is the paper trading, right? They take it serious, okay? Some people be saying, "Oh, well, I did this and I did this." I don't think they realize and grasp the amount of data you have to collect in order to gain this experience, right? F2 didn't get this way really quick. It took a while. It took a lot of trades. It took a lot of research. It took a lot of but most of all, it took real trading. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because once you learn to get in and out the trade, like that's it. You're gonna have to get in because it's gonna be a whole nother ball game if you don't, right? And then I be saying people be like, "Oh, I did good at paper trading, but then once I got into live trading, it was totally different." Yeah, that's because you trading with $100,000 in your paper trading account, and then you trying to get in with one contract. You doing the easiest thing in your live account, but you ain't even practice that. But you practicing like you this super trade. Like, why are you even doing that?
That's a good point.
You setting yourself up.
That's a good point
You know what
because
I'm
a
saying? Like,
completely different trade, a
what's
completely
really
different
going on?
mentality.
Yeah, like what the hell,
That's why everybody,
So
all of us
I don't
always
know.
say trade, and coach says this from the top on down. Make sure you're using the same amount that you would use in your regular account. Keep it realistic. It's already bad enough that the fills are going to be weird. But if you're on
Yeah,
top of that, trading with the level of confidence that you have because you have $1 million in your account, but then you go to really trade and the fill isn't as good, and really all you got is $1,000, and next thing you know, you're down to 500 because fills aren't acting right and you're not trading with the same confidence because you're not making the same moves that you were making. That says something,
let me tell you, if you coming into futures trading, no matter if you've been trading other markets or not, you should not even be thinking about anything that don't start with an M.
Right.
All right. If the ticker that you looking at don't start with an M, that like you shouldn't even be thinking about that. You know what I mean? Like what the hell? I'll be like, well, I did this and I can do this. Well, first you're gonna have to learn how to crawl before you
That's
start
right.
walking. You out here trying to run. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's what you got to do. You got to take a step back,
Damn.
and a lot of people, me included, sometimes don't like to take that step back. They want everything yesterday, and that just doesn't get you anywhere.
Hmm.
That's why Warren Buffett with the impatience. If you're constantly impatient, you're going to continue to lose money. You know, but yeah, that
Yeah.
that's a good lesson for people to learn, and that's the topic today. What did you learn today? What was the main thing that stood out to you
Hmm.
today that you learned? Right? Rob, hey man,
Yeah, I learned a lot of patience today.
did you?
After, yeah, yeah, because like Ralph was just saying, I've for the last year and a half, whenever I get on, now I'm having. Obviously, you can see that I'm on almost every day.
Yeah,
When I was working heavier with my business, it was just haphazard,
yeah,
So I suffer from extreme, I guess, ADD. I've gone to to doctors to talk about it because I hear what you're saying, but it just does not make sense. But in the last 2.5 weeks, being with futures, I've I tell you, yesterday and today was the first day that I sat down and I sat down through some long trades with platinum. And so,
Hmm.
especially for today, when I was in there and it just popped up for me, and I got out real quick. But
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
um, it's the patience to sit here and watch it. When I was doing stocks and options, it was going by so quick that I'm like, "Whoa," it was just too
Yeah,
much for me. So, I
Yeah.
remember when James L was in there months ago. You were talking, he was talking about how rough it was for him.
mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here, I wouldn't even talk to you guys. I wouldn't share, but I'm like, man, he sounds exactly like me and everything. So, but for today, I'm going to say that the biggest lesson I've learned is being patient with the trade and don't go crazy because I would normally get stopped out. So I'd
Mm-hmm.
lose money on that. I mean, I was getting hit left and right all the time. Um, Today was the first day I can say that. I mean, I stopped at $202 and I walked away. I left the office for a bit and came back and I missed that
Good
whole
job.
downturn, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
good job, man.
Yeah, I missed that downturn too. Hey, listen, it don't matter that you missed the downturn because the futures market is giving it to you every day. If you ain't been in there before, that's okay. That one right there, that downturn wasn't really like no, that wasn't normal, right? It bled out pretty good, but
Something's always running.
it's a good run
It's
in
not.
there
Yeah.
every day. Yeah,
Something's
it's a
It's
running.
good.
not just. It's not just the futures, Ralph. The market's there every day. The whole
That's
thing.
right.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah. You're
right.
right.
You will live to trade another day if you primarily focus on preserving your account. That's why coaches rules are in place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of us, when we get impatient, it's because we're not wanting to follow the rules. You know, if that 3% comes up, or say you even stretch it to 5% or 10%, you know, and you're there, a lot of us tend to want to keep going. Well, I can make up for that. You know, it's not that much. I can go ahead and make up for that. And next thing you know, you're down 20%, you know, in your account. And it's like, you know, you gotta at some point have the discipline and the patience to follow the rules and wait for setups, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to raise my hand. It is hard, especially when it's choppy. So you had a good idea when you walked away. David does it. I've started doing it when it's choppy and it's not giving it to you. Now, to that point, okay, if you walk away, you come back, oh shit, I missed an entry. Damn,
Yeah.
it started dropping and I knew it was going to do that. There's going to be other trades though.
Yeah. Yep.
So you got to
Most
try to fight that negativity and say, you know what? I missed that one. I'm not going to try to chase it. I'll wait for the next one because there will be another one.
Right. Yeah.
And that struggle right there is that's a hard
That's a
struggle.
big,
I do. It's been killing me.
That's a really hard struggle, especially when you just got unlimited interest.
yeah,
You know, like if you trade in a large stocks and options account, it's the same thing. You know, I hear a lot of traders, they be like, you know, over there I'm out of buying power, but having that small buying power really saves you a lot of the time because you limited on your trades. So you got to be more strategic. You got to be like,
Right.
all right, I'm gonna do 3 setups, got enough for this, and you wait, you be disciplined, and it'll help you. But whenever you can just jump in anytime, before you know it, you'll be like, what in the hell happened to my buying power? You know what I'm saying? You get that warning talking about you don't have enough funds available.
I had enough for ES.
Yeah.
Now I got to
Oh,
do
how many
I
times that
M2K.
has
had
happened.
enough to get in while
Now I got to do M2K. Now I got to do nano bit.
for real. Hey, you gotta have some discipline whenever you
Yeah.
know. But it is hard to wait, man, because that thing just you be like, man, is that one
Yeah.
good enough? Then you be sitting there, especially the last 2 days that we had before they had the huge runs. I think it was yesterday. It was real
Yep.
choppy. Was that
It
yesterday?
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yesterday it was really choppy. Like I'm trying to think. I ain't even take a trade yesterday. I think I took one. You know, towards the end of the day, and that was the only one that I had took during the New York session because the New York session was just like I don't know. It looked like it had little feathers. If you zoom out on the chart, you could see when 9 o'clock started. All the wicks.
Wait a minute. Which one?
Yeah, man. What is that? Shoot, pick one.
Yeah,
uh,
man.
on the indices, whenever 9 o'clock started, you can just see like how the charts change from just regular candlesticks to candlesticks with just wicks all the way
Yes.
around. And I looked at it when I zoomed out, I was like, I got an extra indicator on my chart or something. Why I got a shadow around the price line?
Wick shadow.
No, that's wicks.
Shadow
It's
wick.
in reversing. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
That's crazy. That's insane. You
So
know.
that was a great idea that what Mark did with Coco. That was the bomb. That helped me out
Yes,
so much.
that was really good. That was really good.
We need
Yep.
more of those types of
That was
things
good.
to happen
Yeah.
because
I
it
didn't want to. I didn't
benefits.
want to put their name out,
Mhm.
but yeah,
Oh, sorry.
that's who I was talking. Oh, you're good. You're good. That's who I was talking about. I mean, he really worked with her and really helped her to understand, you know, what she was doing and what she is doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? I like the repeat back to me. I like how he checked in to make sure that it was actually written down. Um, what happened earlier and what is the solution to it? That's huge right there. What's the solution
Yep.
to it? Because it gets your brain working on how do I fix this?
Yep.
You know?
Hmm.
So it's good to
Yeah.
focus on the problem. You
Mark
need the
is a
solutions.
trainer.
Yeah.
He's a really
Yeah.
good trainer.
Yeah, he is.
He really
Exceptional.
is. You know, you need patience with him. You know, um, tough, but it's
Mm-hmm.
needed. Um, you know, uh, and then he give up his time to help other traders through trading. That's another thing that you can see because I mean Mark could be trading during that time, but he wasn't trading
Yeah.
Right.
during that
No.
time.
He's a
You know.
blessing. Sometimes he'll show up. I'll go to come in the pre-market and he's already there, got the screen loaded up and said, "Hey, go trade," you know. And I'm like, that is so,
Hmm.
you know, appreciated, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
He always got your back. That's for sure.
Always. Always, you know. And
Because
shout
you
out
haven't
to
walked
Ant.
on his lawn, Don.
It's what?
Because you haven't walked on his lawn.
Get off my lawn. Oh man, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to get caught walking on Mark's lawn, especially in Mark's neighborhood. You know what I mean? You heard the stories. So
But hey, Mark is a machine though. Like I even told him this, Mark a machine. Like you shouldn't be comparing yourself to another trader. And I understand if you see another trader doing something, you want to get better, right? But you got to understand that the work and the time and the machine that Mark is, like you said, he be there before time already, got the screen up, like he putting in the work. He there. Mark is getting it in when nobody else ain't looking. I told Mark, I was like, man, I was scrolling through the internet and I seen this guy. I guess he was a coach or maybe he was another basketball player, but he was talking about MJ, Michael Jordan. And he was like, people don't realize the machine that Michael Jordan is. They was like, all they see is the jump man flying and him dunking. They was like, man,
hmm
he was like the difference between Michael Jordan and other traders. He was like, I ain't never seen Michael Jordan come in second at the suicides. If you ain't ever played basketball, you know them suicides. He was
Yeah.
like, not the person that interviewed was like, not even he was like, not even close. All right, he ain't never
yeah,
came in second. Okay, he working out nonstop, and that's the same way Mark is. You know what I'm saying? Mark, he here nonstop. He don't care if the recording is on or what. It ain't no show. He going hard no matter what. He's studying, training, trading, getting trades in, reps nonstop. All right. And he ain't just letting the
Kobe
account
Bryant.
build and you can see he ain't just letting it build up and getting in a whole bunch of contracts. He taking money out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That's what they said
yeah.
about Kobe Bryant. He was always getting it in like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just always trying to be better, you know?
Putting in the work. Yeah.
And that's what it takes, you know? And I mentioned Angela a little while ago. She's the same way, always studying, always trying to be better. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
She's a beast.
Yeah. Yep. She is. Maria as well. You know what I mean? Crispy. How about Crispy?
I
Shout out
love
to
Crispy.
Crispy.
She's yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Crispy, man. Crispy
Crispy.
is putting in the work.
Yes.
Crispy. I'm scared of Crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crispy's a force to be reckoned with. She is
Yeah,
coming full steam ahead.
she is.
She
Yeah.
was
Doug.
trading two things at one time today, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's right.
She got
Yeah.
it.
And
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
watching
got it.
Doug too today, just scalping away, scalping away, scalping away. He made over a grand, and that's really cool. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
trying to emulate what I'm seeing and staying connected very much so because that's the only way I'm going to win this fight.
That's
Because
it.
Yeah.
that part
So
of it, the fight is more with internally to me.
that's what I was
For
just
me,
about to say.
it's
You
You
it's
gotta
it's
have to
me.
prove
believe
yourself.
you can win the fight.
Absolutely, yes,
You
ma'am.
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
that's a huge part of it. If they can, Mark said it today. He's like, if I can do it, you can do it. And I believe that,
Hmm.
and you can't get caught up in the comparison trap of, well,
Yes.
he's doing it. Why am I not doing it? We've been here the same amount. You can't let that, no, everybody's
That
journey is different.
will tear
that's right.
a trader down. Listen to me.
Yes.
Yes,
It could be a person that I don't even like, and if they winning in the market, I'm happy for them. All right. So why are you comparing yourself to traders?
That's
Like,
right.
why that ain't gonna do nothing but make you worse. It's not a competition. The
yeah,
only person you should be competing with is yourself. You know
Is
what I
you.
mean? Right? The only data you should be collecting is your own data, right? Just because you see another trader making thousands or whatever, that's not gonna make you trade profit. Only you can push that button and get in and get out. That's
yeah,
why I be like, why are you trying to follow somebody else's trades? You don't know what
Right.
they got going on. And then
yeah,
whenever I be like, oh, I done been in here this amount of time, and this person doing way better than me. Yeah, but is your life there? Life happens. I'm talking about you might have to stop trading for a while. You don't know what another person got going on. Their account
That's
ain't your
right.
account. We all gonna get there. We just gonna get there at different times. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
That is absolutely right.
So, I
It
mean, it really don't
it
matter how long it take you.
it took me several months to be able to say, hey, I made $100. Hey, I made a $500. Hey, I made, five figures. And that took a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Uh, it didn't happen for me overnight.
Right.
Real.
See.
I
Yeah.
would
So
say I think it was Al Brooks. He's an author, right? And he was like, he was an eye surgeon at first. He wasn't even trading, and so he talked about because I think he was in like a podcast or not a podcast. One day talking to like a group of people. What is that? A
hmm
seminar? Anyway, he was like, the guy was like, well, how long did it took you to get profitable? And he was like, I'm gonna just be honest with you. It took me 10 years. You know what I'm saying? He was like,
yeah.
you know, he was like, I used to be ashamed to tell people how long it took me to get profitable. He was like, I ain't talking about making money. I'm talking about making money like profitable at the end of the. That's how long it took for him to turn a profit. 10 years. He was just like, he was like, your life ain't his. He was like, he had different things going on. He was a surgeon. He had twins. Anything can happen. Like your family can get sick to slow you up where you might not be able to come in. It's not an excuse. It's just the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Of what you have going on. Everybody is
Right.
different. If he would have let that deter him, he wouldn't be where he at right now. You know what I'm saying? So just
Absolutely.
keep at it. You know?
Keep pushing. You know what I mean?
In
So
keeping with one of Coach's rules, I got myself this book, Trading Logbook,
Or check.
and
let me
here,
see that again.
sure,
Oh, nice.
That's like a
put up
journal.
1,800 trades.
Uh-huh.
This is what you're. I'd rather
That's
do it
sweet.
without my Chinese. All right, so this is what it looks like, the trading log.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They even it gives you the trading plan. If you want to put there, you can write it your strategy for the day. And then
Hmm.
here you got. I guess I have to turn my camera around or something like that. Do some
Yeah,
advice,
do you
but
see a button that says mirror?
mirror under settings,
Mirror your
video,
screen.
virtual. Nope. Audio.
Should be under settings, under your screen.
Oh, huh. I guess maybe no. Nope,
Well,
that
we
didn't
get the
work.
general idea.
Well, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, we can see it.
So, yeah, it just gives you the thing. It gives you the market conditions if you want to fill it out, the platforms
Where'd
you
you get
have
that? I like that.
online, Amazon,
Nice.
and I actually got because I got to. So there's a whole set. This is another thing, Trading Wisdom by a guy
Hmm.
named Cheds. Okay, that's part one.
Hmm.
Part two is the Trading Journal.
Nice.
That's the main
And
one you need to
basically,
be
it gives
on.
you why you need a trading journal. The chapters, what goes in a trading journal. So it gives you a lot of information that you want to work with. And then it's trading quotes. Then the third one is trading quotes, a
Nice.
daily dose of trading wisdom. So I've been doing these, and so it gives you, if you want to look at that, it gives you every week, and it gives you Monday through Saturday, through Sunday actually, 7 days of quotes. Anything that I need to do this. This is how because if I'm going to go deep into it,
That's
I
your
got to.
tools. Gotta have
Yeah,
your
well,
tools.
and that one too. When I was at the beach house, this is all I listened to was the book that you recommended, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind.
Oh my God. I've been putting, I don't know if you've looked in the Trader's Edge or in the Stock Lounge, but I've been
Yeah,
putting,
I saw it. No, I'm looking right at it right now. Yes,
yep,
ma'am.
I've been putting his daily declarations up.
Love it. Keep doing that because that's what I love. The affirmations are very important for me.
Yes. Yes, they
So
are.
I'm pretty sure it's very important for everybody else. But I'm doing whatever it is that I can do to help myself out. And I still got the old trading notes from American Dream Trading. So I
Sweet.
usually write a lot in there too.
Awesome. That's important. That's your tools. That
Yes.
journal should always be beside you so that you can write down things as they come to you. Because again, like you said, a lot of us have an ADD. It's not just you. So if you can have something that you can write down and keep your thoughts in line and keep them together, that'll help you organize your thoughts, and you'll be able to work. Your workflow will be better, and your trading
Ange,
flow will be better.
Yes, ma'am.
Ange
Hold
needs
on,
the
my
link.
girl. Ange looking for the link. Hold
Hold
on,
on.
Ange. We about to get that for you
Let me
right
put it down
now.
there again.
Oh, there it goes. Mirror. Haha.
You found it.
Good job,
Yeah.
Rob.
I could do it.
I just know Ange killed it today. She was
There
ready
you
to
go,
drive.
Ange.
She working in that 2 minute EWO.
Yeah, she is focused
I'm gonna
on
tell
that
you something.
thing.
I ain't never thought I believe or hear Ange say what she said about the Evo
Mm-hmm.
today. That's something that I never thought. I'm telling you, I
But
never
she's more
thought
that
I'd hear
fidget
Ange
spinner
say
out already.
All right, let me let it
Angela's like,
run.
man, I'm a scalper at heart. I'm a scalper. Let me tell you, scalping is
There you
hard.
go.
Next
Hey,
money
you.
in the
Hi.
house.
How are you?
I'm
What's going
exhausted,
on,
dude.
man?
Wow, long day, huh?
I got
Especially
the
sitting in those Ewos.
Oh man, I'm telling you, like, listen, I like an EWO. When Coach watches the replay, I'm just popping in. I have no idea what you guys talked about, but I feel like I've been MIA. I've got so much going on right now, so I wanted to make sure I said hello.
Oh, that was sweet.
Mhm.
No,
But
we get it.
I am
I seem to
It's
remember
no.
somebody very sternly saying, "No, no, I'm a scalper. I don't have time for that 2 minute Evo."
I know, and I will forever eat my words.
Well, that's the topic actually today is what did you learn today? So if there's anything else new that you picked up from your EWO lessons, let us know.
Um, I have a stack about 4 pages of notes because even though a lot of it's repetition,
Mhm.
I like to take the notes, and even if I've written it a million times, like, it's there. And you know me, I am like old school. I like to write everything down and absorb it that way. Um, Today it was a lot of fun to hear all the light bulbs going off.
Yeah.
That was so fun to me. I love that. Like, that to me in itself is huge. Because when everybody else's light bulbs go off, like, I feel like my light bulb is going off too,
Right.
Um, and then if my son's watching this, like, I'm pretty certain he's going to kick my ASS in this. No
Oh,
joke.
sour.
No joke.
Sour
I
been killing
mean,
it.
that kid, he gets in an EWO better than I do. And I'm not tooting my horn because I don't put myself on any kind of pedestal or anything like that. But this kid, I'm telling you, like,
Good.
you guys think I got some discipline? Holy crap on a cracker. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. And I know, like, he's eventually he'll join up here with you guys and share his journey so far and whatnot. And but
that'd
yeah,
be awesome.
my biggest takeaway this day, or for today, with the EWO is, you don't realize how much of an impact you have on people until you start to hear it and see it, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I don't find myself to be that kind of person. It's a little overwhelming in a sense, but I hear it all the time. And I read an essay this last oh, what is it? Oh, market's open. I'm like, why is my computer telling me attention? That I don't necessarily feel like I influence people so much as, but in this excerpt that I read, like it talks
Oh
about.
my God, you do so much. You don't know that? Oh
I
my
know
God.
it's so weird, right? Like I'm just little old me sitting in my little old office doing a little old thing with a mouse and a computer. Like it's so I
Girl,
don't
little old you is kicking some ass, and everybody is noticing and watching and wanting to do it.
yeah,
You
and
got
so
people wanting to do the EWO again.
I know, but so this excerpt
Yep.
it talks about like owning it, right?
Mhm.
And being comfortable in owning it, and what it brings to the people around you. And I think having my son be a part of this, because he was a part of it before, but he only got little tidbits, because
Spectator.
the whole point was for him to see the bait,
Right.
and be the fish, and then he chooses then what he decides to take, and because that's his path. So to see him thriving in a sense where he's still in his learning stages, but is he lucky that he has me in his ear? I'm not really in his ear anymore, because now I'm there, yes, but it's up to him to take the bite where it is he finds where he flourishes. So whether it's crypto or hot stocks or whatever, and it doesn't matter, it's his choice at this point. But when he asked me to make sure that he's like, well, I'll do whatever you tell me. And so I'm like, well, you're only going to do the EWO. You're only going to follow the rules. You're only going to chart what you're supposed to. You're not going to go into crypto. You're not going to go and sit in options. You're not even going to learn that. You're going to do exactly what you're told. And what I'm telling you is the same thing coach teaches, period. It's the same thing you're going to hear from everybody else that's in here. And then it's teaching him to block out the noise.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what I'm talking about. So then it's blocking all the noise out. And it's remembering why he's here. So every morning when I hear his alarm go off and he's logging in, because he's like clockwork, he comes up here at 4 a.m. for his moringa, and then he's already got the VIP Zoom in his ear, and he's already fired up. Which is funny, right? We're building these routines and this discipline. And the whole point for me, God, I feel like I'm taking over.
Girl, stop it. Stop it.
The whole point with him coming in here and something that I take a shine to is it's that next generation. It's that next generation discipline. It's bringing back to our youth that you don't have to be on the straight and narrow, which is what everybody else wants you to do. Mm-hmm. You can find the path, whether this is his path or not, right? But you can have a resource at your fingertips that's less than a 4-year degree, less than a 2-year degree, and it's basically it's whatever you make it, and you get to decide. You get to decide what tomorrow looks like. You get to decide whether you show up or not. Because if you do this, nobody else, you're relying on nobody else but yourself and the tools you have at hand here. Yep. You are fighting your own fight, right? And so what this does for me, right? Because I'm all over the place. I'm just like every other human being out there, except the only difference between me and him is I've got big world problems. He's got little world problems right now.
Yeah.
And if he can figure out how to navigate this in the little world problems so that he doesn't have these big world problems later, his whole life is, it's at his fingertips, right? Sure. So, so my biggest takeaway is I think, but if he's listening, he might lose it. I think my son saved my life. And that's all I'm saying.
Wow. You know what? I completely get that, because it was him suggesting that you pick up a hobby and that led you to this.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I get
That's
that.
right.
I get that. Like Coach's wife suggesting that oh, honey, TikTok's a big thing. You need to try it. Look
Oh my
what
God.
happened.
Was that today he said that, or was that yesterday?
Attention.
He always says it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just heard him say that, like here in the last
Yeah.
day or something.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and I seriously, and he reminds me, he chuckles and he's like, and to think I told you to get a hobby, and here we are. And every time he says it, it's never here I am.
Yeah.
It's here we are.
Yeah.
And so I think about that every day. Like, and for me right now, life is moving at a very fast pace, right? And he's right there. So when I'm sitting here wanting to poke my eye out because I'm waiting for a damn EWO, I'm getting a text message saying, "Did you see that setup?" And I'm like, "No, what are you looking at?" And then I'm pulling it up. I'm like, "Okay, I need to make my list smaller. There's a light bulb. It's time to make the list smaller." So instead of having 30 tickers, I have it down, I think, to 8. So I got a couple in each sector, so that way if one's running, the other one's dropping. If one's null, there's movement somewhere else, so on and so forth, right? It was an aha. I'm like, I'm overcomplicating this. I know this. I'm squirrely just like everybody else. Thank you, son. Thank you.
Yep.
That's awesome. Student teaching the teacher. Sometimes it happens like that.
But
that's
then
awesome.
It also teaches me too, like, I'm not a quitter, right? And I've had my fair share of ups and downs and all arounds, just like everybody else has. But at the end of the day, there's always someone watching, and it doesn't matter who it is. Everybody has their own walk of life. Everyone is going through their own shit, whether they share it or not. And if you can make and him and I talk about this, if we can make an impact on someone's day, like today, all the light bulbs went off for all the people. It was the coolest thing to be a part of and to hear, and the joy and the excitement of people actually like seeing it and actually like stopping and seeing it for what it is.
Right.
That is the coolest thing. It is the coolest.
It really is.
And to be a part of it, right? It's even cooler. And so then I'm a look forward type person. So I'm always thinking ahead, and like, what's next? Like where do you go from here? Like, how do you top that? How do you top today? I don't know. Consistency, right? Doing it day over day, and then being able to carry the torch, right? And then I think of like all of us in here, like each one of us, like I recognize all of your names. I have seen all of your paths since I've been here, knowing that most of you have been here longer than I have, but then seeing those little victories for each of us, with the journaling and the making the little notes and, bettering our EWOs or bettering our scalping or just showing up, because it may not be that easy for some of us. And being here every day, because it will happen. And when it does, we're all here to support it. And we're all cheering each other on to support it. So I'm fired up today. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I love it.
Some of us just have thicker skulls, Hans.
Yeah, right? Well, I'm stubborn. Right? I'm stubborn too. Like, shit. I got a freaking fidget spinner. Also my son's idea, by the way, and he reminds me, he's like, that was my idea. That. I'm like, I know it was.
He will never let you live that down.
No, I know, right? But man, this sucker, it's made me a lot of money.
Said he couldn't wait till Mark get in. He's overslept.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Oh, yeah.
I said, so couldn't wait till Mark got in when you overslept that day.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then like this morning when we were drinking our moringa in the kitchen, right? Because when I drink that nasty shit, I'm like, I gotta like prepare, I gotta talk myself through this. Like I gotta hype myself up like it's some like national championship at 4 a.m. in the morning, and we're taking our moringa together, right? And he's like, Ma, we sleep when we're dead. And I'm like, he goes, I have that swirling in the back of my head. Boomer says. And I'm like, Boomer says it, but I have to have sleep, period. I have to be able to function. I cannot go on nothing. I go loopy. It's not pretty for anybody. He's like, well, that's what Boomer says. I'm like, well, you listen to Boomer. I'm like, I got a little more skin in the game and I'm going to sleep.
That is too
I love
funny.
it.
I love
And
that he calls him Boomer too.
yeah, it's never going to go away.
Sour caught that gold Evo and rode that donkey all day long.
Yes, he did.
Yesterday, I was like, damn, everybody was out. And Mark said, Sour, you still in it? He was like, I'm still in it. He had like a candle that pulled down. He was still in it. That's the move right there, because they move all day long. You know what I'm saying? Coaches talk about that today.
Yeah. And he only watches gold. He only watches gold.
That's
And
another.
so we've talked about that the last 2 weeks, like
That's awesome.
making it very clear to him, like there are days you're not going to trade gold because it ain't going to do what you want it to do, and you've got to be okay with it. But on days it's going exactly how you want, that's the day you go ham.
Mm-hmm.
Because then those days when it's choppy nonsense, we banter back and forth about it. Like he'll come up here, we pull up the chart and he walks me through it just like he's been taught. If you can't walk yourself through it and talk about your trade out loud, you have zero business being in it. Period.
That's right.
So like there's these little things and tidbits of like everything we've learned over the course of time where what time is it? Are you waiting for me? Okay, I'm coming. All right. So it's one of those things where it's like I love that he shares everything with me and that he can walk me through everything that he's supposed to, because he's not going to be in these miscombobulated. Hang on. I remember what I was going to say. Mom life distracts me sometimes. Yeah, so he has no business being in a trade unless he can walk himself and or somebody else through it and tell me why he got in it, where he got in it, where his out is, just like we talk about all the things. Like we could strip this down to nothing, and if you can't do the bare basics, like you now have no business in getting in here. And we know this, right?
Oh my God, Jen said that today. She said, I thought you were in here on the phone with somebody. I was talking myself through a trade. Just breaking hold, see how it broke and held there. That's why you gotta wait. See, it broke, but it didn't hold. I'm sitting there talking like I'm talking to somebody else. You know what I mean? And she thought I was legit talking on the phone or talking to one of you. I'm like, no, I'm talking myself through this trade. So yeah, it's definitely a thing.
It absolutely is. And now like he's got his friends listening in, and now he's telling his friends, he's talking to people about it. Nice. They ask him, what are your plans? And
Give him that affiliate link.
And he goes, he's like,
Cash in.
people, ask about what I'm doing. So I'll sit there and talk to him about it. Like, yes, because you know how many people are afraid to have those conversations?
Yeah, for sure.
Because people are naysayers. And I told them, I'm like, if you're proud of what you do, you own it.
Especially with this.
You own it.
Especially with this. You tell people you're a trader, a day trader, you trade stock market, all they think about is it's gambling. Yeah.
Yep. And then I told them, I'm like, naysayers, haters, all the things, just put that in the back of your mind and just put them in your back pocket. Put them in your back pocket. Have a minute to feel, because we're human. Feel it for a second. And then remind yourself why you're doing this. Because when you figure it out and you've got it all figured out, in a sense where you can live your life the way you want to, those naysayers, you can pull them back out and be like, now do you want to talk about it?
Right.
So.
Way to go. Dude, that is awesome.
That's it. That was a lot in 20 minutes.
And don't even worry about it. That's what the panel's for. Come up and just spit the knowledge. That's what it's for. It's not for any one person to get up and hog it up. Just come up and talk and say your piece, because people want to know what you know. They want to know what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and how you're doing what you're doing. So yeah, don't ever feel like you're taking over, because we want you to take over and talk and tell us what you're doing. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate it because I
Yeah.
know you got
Yep.
stuff going on. So
Yeah.
So
Market
I like
closes
what you said today, and whenever you gave some advice, you was like, just if you're struggling with the Evo, just work on getting in, because that's one of the
yeah,
hardest parts of the Evo is getting in.
it really is,
You
especially if you got
know,
other stuff in the way.
Yeah.
yeah. When you first get in that Evo, it's tough because you can like I'm setting up, and you convince yourself to get in, and then it goes up a couple of ticks, and then wham, you know, it
Okay, so
slams
let me
down
ask
on
you that. Not to cut you off, Ralph, but I'm curious about that. Like when you get in an EWO, do you when that second candle hits and you know, okay, well, at least the oscillator has given me the okay.
you.
What do you do when you're at a double top, when you're at the 200? Do you go in and get in anyway?
Who are you
I
talking
don't.
to?
You.
If it's already at a double top and the EWO is being signaled, I wait.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, am I waiting too long and causing myself to get in too late and now it's a scalp? But no, it's still all of that stuff needs to line up. Otherwise, what you just said, Ralph, it'll go against you.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But you're still considering it EWO because once all those confluences are handled, you get in and you stay in it from that point, basically,
Yep. Sometimes it
until it
go
tells
against
you
you.
otherwise.
Sometimes it go against you even when it ain't nothing there. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because it be
know
like a
that
breakout and then
creates a
it comes
whole
back.
nother level
Yeah, that's
to
the
put on the
reason why
chart.
we gotta use the bigger stop on the end on the beginning of it.
Hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, be your best self. Be a better you. Don't try to be a better somebody else or compete with other people, especially in here.
Yeah.
Try to do better than what you did the day before. Like Ralph says, compare yourself to you. What did I do yesterday? How did I
Hmm.
screw up? And how can I not do that today? Like Mark said, what's the solution? Let's focus on the solutions today, not the problems, you know, and keep doing that and keep
Yep.
doing that. And if it's 5 years from now and the light bulb finally goes off, so what? Look what happens when you finally get it, So, with that being said, anybody want to add anything else before we get out of here?
Work on yourself, your trade,
Yes.
your journal, right? Your entries, your exits, your
Yeah,
situation, not nobody else's. And you can, if you need help, let us know. You don't got to share it and broadcast it. Just work on getting better for yours, and don't compare your work to anybody else's, because that's not really going to get you nowhere. It's good to be competitive, but comparing yourself and thinking you not that good because somebody else is doing better, that's just gonna tear you down as a
that's
trader.
it.
Just get
Tear you
better,
down
you
mentally,
know.
period. As a
Never
person.
give up.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't quit.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't
quit.
give up.
Yeah.
James
Don't.
L., I'm so proud to hear you say that, brother, because you have had some rough days in here. We've all heard it. And just to hear you sound so positive and to hear that you're making money and you're doing things the right way, I'm so proud of you for not
Yep.
giving up and sticking with it. For sure.
Well, it's not quite F2 money
James
yet, but
L.
I'm getting there.
Well, what did we just say, James? Who
We
cares
just
about F2
yeah,
money? We literally just said,
yeah.
stop the comparison, you know?
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not
Just
a
do
I
better.
know.
F2 funny. I'm not
Did
used
you
to
do better
F2
than
funny yet.
James did yesterday? That's all you need to worry about. Did you do better than James did
That's it.
yesterday? You know?
There you go.
I know. I'm
Celebrate the
just trying to
small wins.
boost F2's ego a little more.
He don't take the bait. He is probably the most modest person I have ever seen in my life.
Thank
Yeah, he
you.
is.
When I get where I'm going, you're gonna see a change in the driveway. That's all I'm gonna say. That'll probably be my first big. After I get all my debt, I'll get me a nice vehicle. So
Just make sure you put the pictures in the lounges so we see them.
I will. I'll get me a.
Yep.
What are those?
Look, get some spinners on your rims, right? You talking about fidget
Yeah.
spinners?
F2. You supposed to have that car as your screensaver on your computer. when you walk in the room, you supposed to have that car
Like a
just there,
vision
like, yeah,
board.
this gonna be in the driveway. Yeah.
My hydraulics
You
in it.
said, what is those things?
Have
Nah,
a vision board too.
get whatever it is you want. You gotta manifest that thing. Don't always.
This
got a
is where I
vision
want to
board.
live. I keep this by my little
Closer. Bring
island,
it closer
little
to the camera.
shack.
Black hole.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can't
no.
see
Black
it.
hole.
It didn't show up. Hold
No,
on.
we didn't see it.
We didn't see
No,
it.
no, I believe it. Hold on, let me see.
No cigar.
Come a little closer.
Oh, I
There's
saw a boat.
a 2-minute EWO behind you.
I know you see that. You
Oh,
caught
I
that,
see it.
right?
I got a brand new 2 David.
You got a level of
What is that? An
49.
Oh, there it is.
That's an ultrasound done.
No. What the hell? Why won't that show up?
See it. I
Weird.
see
Green
it must
screen
be a lot
done.
of turquoise or something.
I got it
X-ray?
behind me. Well, that's weird. When I put it up, it's like literally.
No, nothing.
It's something about that picture. It's not showing
Yeah.
up. It's weird. But anyway, it's a little shack on
Listen,
an
guys,
island.
if y'all want to
Yes.
see Dawn's vision, join the Discord.
I tell you what, I'll take a picture of it and put it in the stock. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
I love
There you
that.
go.
I love that.
Yeah.
But that's my home. That's where I'm moving to.
I love that.
Hey, Dawn, do you want me to post those books in the Trader's Edge?
Oh yeah. You know what? We gotta make sure that Coach approves that first though.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah.
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 Why don't he could send him to you, Don, and to your email,
Yeah, I'll send
and
Okay.
then we can, and then
Dawn at American Dream Trading, right?
Yes.
and then
Okay.
we can put the link over or have him so he proves it, and then we can attach any affiliate that needs to be, and then it can be posted. Does that sound about right with the process?
It sounds perfect actually. So he can email them to me. I can DM them to Coach.
Right.
And or email him, forward it right to Coach, and he can do what he needs to do.
All right, I gotta go. Mom duties.
Bye.
Girl,
I just want
coming
to pay this
through.
quote.
Yeah.
Everybody.
What? No Irish goodbye?
No.
Yep, Irish. Totally Irish.
No, you said it. You said it. You
Oh,
gave me
there
the
you go.
warning. James, thank you for being here, honey. F2, thank you. Ralph, thank
All
you.
right,
Rob,
James.
thank
See you in the
you.
morning.
Yeah, you guys are
Thanks for having
amazing.
me.
Everybody
All right,
down there in the
F2.
chat, I love your
Rob.
faces. Thank you for being here and watching the aftermarket with us and being here with us tonight. I'm going to end with Coach's rules as I normally do. Peace and blessings, y'all. See you in the morning.
Peace. Thank you.
Peace. See ya.
Please follow the rules. Nobody go rogue. Some of the rules that we have to and live and die by in here is do not lose more than 1 to 3% of your total account value in any given day. Make sure you have stop losses on each and every trade, regardless of shares and or options. Make sure you guys are practicing small base hits. Don't go for home runs. Allow the runners to run and stop out the losers. If you're a new trader, make sure you are paper trading using a simulated trading system such as Webull or some of the other ones that are out there. If you are an expert trader, please make sure you also are being careful the first 3 minutes and the last 8 to 9 minutes of the day. Those are the absolute most volatile times in the entire market. Also, if you're a newer trader, please don't trade in the first 30 minutes or the last hour of the day. Those are the most dangerous times. Oh, wow. Great job, F2. Good job.
Thank you, Coach.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you posted it. Can I say that, what you posted in the stock lounge?
Yes, sir. I'm still dealing with a smaller account, so yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's beautiful. So F2 just posted, still on the fence about getting a membership. Join now to learn how to trade. From someone who blew a 25K plus to now I've fully recovered and officially have had a personal record day. All thanks to my gold VIP in the Apple chat. $10,600 today. Love
I think
it.
that's his first 5-digit day.
Is
Way
it?
to go, F.
Was that your first 10,000 plus day, partner?
Yes, sir. I'm kind of shaking a little bit. I know it's
Oh.
not much compared to what everybody else has, but
Not much. That's a massive amount of money. You know how many people in this room would love to make $10,000 today?
Never compare yourself to
Yeah,
others.
that's awesome,
Plus,
man.
you did a turnaround. That's
Yeah.
the best thing ever.
Yeah, and you did a full
That's beautiful.
turnaround.
Debt free with that.
That's
$10,000,
awesome.
30 minutes. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's incredible. He's active
he's
in
up
the
over 20
community.
grand in a week.
Yeah, and he's always in the aftermarket show, right? All the things, laser focus. It's weird what happens when you guys become laser focused, right?
Always there. He is amazing. And such a humble person.
Good job. I love that. Stay the course. Stay after it, everybody. It's what you
Palm
do.
got him and Ann started on that 1%, and they just took off, dude.
Yep. Hey, listen, we got a deal for you. I don't know if you're even in a place to be able to do this, but this popped up, okay? And I think I'm going to sweeten the deal a little bit. But are you ready?
yes, sir.
Don't answer me until you hear the rest of the deal.
Okay.
So, if you get a Diamond Lifetime membership today, you know they're on sale, right?
Right.
Palm said he'll do a free one-on-one with you.
Oh shit.
And I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to take 50% off of that. So today, if you do $2,500, we're going to give you a Diamond Lifetime membership with a free one-on-one with Palm. How's that sound?
Wow.